Welcome to Let's Curate's webcast series. It's that time of the year when all of New York City gets excited for one of its finest art trade shows. This event attracts galleries, artists, and publishers from the fields of ceramics, paintings, sculptures, and much more. This is the third consecutive year we're presenting at ArtExpo New York, and we're excited to speak to one of our artists today. I'm thrilled to welcome for the second consecutive year, Melissa Waters, an Australian artist who works mainly in acrylic, collage, and mixed media. Melissa has held a variety of group and solo art exhibitions in Australia and overseas. She's been employed on cultural art exchanges with artists from China and India and has held various jobs to support her arts practice. We will be sharing links to her work for ArtExpo. Hi, Melissa. Thank you for joining us today. It is wonderful to have you back.
It's lovely to be here, actually, and to catch up with you again after a year.
Yes, I can't believe it's been a year, and I'm so thrilled to, just have this opportunity to see where you've been at and how your work has progressed over, the 12 months that we've kind of since we last spoke. I do want to kind of kickstart the interview by having you share a little bit about yourself for those who don't know you yet.
Okay, I'm an artist that lives in far north Queensland, which is a tropical environment, and also inland. It's more of a dry environment, but along the coast it's very tropical. So there's the rainforest and the reef, the Great Barrier Reef, and it's a very hot and humid environment this time of year, and we have cyclones. We've had a few cyclones this year. I love the richness of the tropics. It is a beautiful area, and it's a good place to live in, but it's also, you have to, in the summer months it can be tiring with the humidity and the storms.
I completely understand. I've never been in an environment before, but I can imagine how dramatic and beautiful it must be when it's, when nature is at its full force. And this is interesting because in 2023, last year, we had presented two of your works that were deeply influenced by environmental issues and climate change effects that you were observing. What has been your artistic journey over the past year? Has your focus changed? Has it evolved into something else?
I think I still work from that nature base. I guess in a way in this last year I've looked at things closer to home, because I've been, around home a lot this year, over the last year. It's looking at the details in the environment I live in. So, it's my, the garden and just a slightly larger picture of the region I live in. So, I get excited about the details of the small worlds that you see within the environment, the patterns and the colours and those things. So I've really concentrated on that area, at looking and concentrating on things that are closer to where I'm living.
This is incredible because I feel like it's almost as if you've zoned in, but your focus remains the same and you're discovering another layer to, the whole beauty of nature. Is that what you've, I guess, emphasized in the two pieces that you're submitting this year? Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yes, just looking at sort of tropical gardens, and this, I guess, the works that I've exhibiting this year are like the tropical gardens that you see, not necessarily my garden, but it's all the colour, the vivid, colours of the the plants and the bird life and the butterflies and everything that is contained within just maybe a small space. So rather than being too pictorial, it was really trying to just give the essence of that feeling of the tropical gardens. Yeah.
Can you show us the artwork? I can see it displayed right behind you, and I'm so excited for you to talk more about that.
This is Tropical Garden 1, which is, I can use that, see that?
Yes.
It's probably slightly muted colours at times. It's the colours I like, but it's a combination of colours that particularly the red and the greens that are quite opposite colours that sort of are the attraction when you're looking at tropical gardens.
That's beautiful. It's very evocative when you look at the imagery, and it just, it's wild and it's lush and it's all over the place, and that just makes it all the more stunning. I feel this is so gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Did you want to look at the other as well?
Yes, yes, we would love to.
And this is Garden 2. So that was my second in the series of the garden. Yes, and it's the shapes and just the flow of a garden too. It's, it's really quite difficult to just try and just get the feeling of how you see a garden and the forms that are there, but doing it in a fairly abstract way. And hopefully, that comes across.
Yes, absolutely. It does. And, it's funny because, like you said, your artistic world moved from, the pressing, themes of climate change and environmental issues. But even when you zone in, it's actually a reminder of how important it is to preserve, conserve, and really cherish what's around us first. And maybe that helps in kind of, I guess, healing, the larger world around us. So it's interesting because you've still played with the same themes that you were thinking about last year too.
I think yes, it is a thread that runs through my work. I think about nature and the environment and how precious it is, and I guess this time has made us realize, looking at the world around us, what is out there and what, we need to stop and look at and just appreciate and be so grateful for, for what is in the environment. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And nature is sort of solace as well. It's good for the soul. I enjoy, discoveries in the garden, that I haven't found before. It might be something like, like some fungus, or because we've had a lot of wet weather, so the fungus is out and about. And also just patterns in trunks of trees, and such a variety. I think that's what fascinates me, is the variety of patterns and designs and in nature.
And it's almost like a constant discovery, especially for a creative person like yourself. I feel, sometimes we look at the same scene 100 times, and then, but a creative person looking at the same scene 100 times, you probably would discover 100 different details, which, then you encapsulate in your art, which I think is fascinating. And you've done such a beautiful job with, the Tropical Garden series that you're presenting this time.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I must admit, it's been, because I've had to stay sort of closer to home, it has made me focus more on that, and I just get delight in what I see around me. And I think that is such an important thing, that you try and convey that to other people, that, yeah, that what's around them is a delight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's so important.
What do you think would excite you next? Are you working on something? Can you tell us a little bit?
I've got a couple of exhibitions later this year. It's one exhibition that's going to be in a couple of galleries up here in the far north. I live on what's called the Tablelands, which is west of the coast. So we'll have one exhibition in Cairns, which is on the coast, and the other one up here on the Tablelands. This is with two other artists from Cairns. So that is about nature again. So it's looking more at what we call scrublands, which is the dry desert, which is actually not very applicable at the moment because we've had so much rain, and everything is looking really green. So we're going to have to go further west or try and find where we have a field trip coming up to gather information. So I see that thread of nature and the environment will probably always be somewhere in my work, always be part of my work.
You do it so well. I think, it's just I can just see it in your art. You're meant for it. Your art just exemplifies and personifies all your thoughts so beautifully. So it seems like this theme is here to stay, and you're just going to go from strength to strength with one collection after another and one series after another. So we are so honored to have you with us again. We wish you the best of luck for all your other exhibitions and events. I'm sure it's going to be a great success. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Meghana.
I want to let our viewers know that ArtExpo takes place from April 4th to 7th in New York City. We will be posting this webcast on our YouTube channel and other social media channels, so you can view and purchase Melissa's amazing work, even if you cannot attend in person. For more updates, of course, follow us on Instagram at @lets_curate, and happy curating, everyone.